Welcome to video 11 in the Financial Stress and Money Mindset series. Today we're going to talk about a really interesting topic. It's going a little deeper today about we can't attract what we want in life if we're operating from programs, if we're operating from a mask of trying to be something that we're not. If we're not being authentically who we are, we can't truly manifest everything that we're trying to manifest. Now I'll go into this in a little bit. And last week we talked about what got you here can't get you there. We have to keep leveling ourselves up. What got us here was what got us here. And if we keep repeating the same thing, we're going to keep getting the same result. And we have to keep evolving ourselves. And that's what this is about. It's about evolving who we are and continually growing and expanding. And through the process of manifesting what we want, trying to manifest, trying to change and do things differently so that we can keep up leveling who we are to keep attracting higher levels of what we want. In that process, we keep evolving ourselves, we keep growing. It's the person we keep becoming that's attracting what we want. Okay, so in this video, the person that we are, the person we're trying to manifest from, that's actually the person that's attracting what we get. And if we're coming from a lot of insecurities, if we're wearing a mask, always trying to hide who we are, if we don't feel good about who we are in some ways, and we're trying to make ourselves look better, we're trying to wear clothes to impress other people, or we're trying to get a car or have things to look a certain way to other people, to look important, if we're talking about certain things to be important, if it's not really authentically who we are, if we're not following our truth, we can only attract to us what's relative, what's aligning with who we're basically acting to be. Okay? And I've said before, our suffering is caused by trying to be something that we're not. It's a lot of resistance. It's a lot of effort to pretend we're not who we are, to put on this sort of act to fit in, to meet expectations, to fit the standard we think we need to meet. When we're hard on ourselves, we put ourselves down, we're essentially stopping ourselves from being who we really are. Now say we have a lot of things that in a sense we've put the energy out. We don't understand, why is it not coming? Why am I not manifesting these things I'm putting out there? I'm doing everything, I'm on all these levels, I'm doing everything right, but nothing is coming to me. Well, maybe it can't come to you if you're really acting from not who you authentically are. How can what is yours, what is meant for you in this life, come to you if you're denying who you are? You're denying everything then that comes with who you truly are. And so, if this makes sense, we have to be who we are to attract that which is owned by who we are, that which we're meant to have in this lifetime, that which we've been working on manifesting. So if we're trying to manifest abundance, but we always feel we're not worthy, we always feel not good enough, we're not going to be able to attract that. We're going to really attract what we're putting out there, which is the lack and the worry and the fear. So we're going to attract more circumstances that just support that belief, that perception that we're not good enough when we can't attract anything. That's where we need to, what got us here can't get us there. We keep needing to let that go and evolve who we are. And if we can authentically be who we are, and we're not explaining ourselves to people, we're not worried about that, we're not, who we are when we're around certain people, but then other people we change and we're afraid to speak our truth. We're afraid to really be who we are. We go along with the status quo. We agree with somebody when we don't agree. When we do these things, we can't really attract the full level of abundance that is available to us. And we're unique. There's nobody else out there that's exactly like us. We're amazing. You're amazing. I'm amazing. Nobody else can be me. Nobody else can be you. And you see, so you can't be somebody else. You can never be good at being somebody else because you're not them. But to be you, you don't even have to try. All you have to do is let your light out and let it be okay, and not question yourself, not doubt yourself. Stop doing that. we just let that go. That's where the meditation practice, the awareness practice comes in. When we just allow ourselves to be present. We're practicing being with what we feel in our body, coming back to our breathing, coming back to our feeling sensations. So we're actually practicing being ourselves in the moment. Now down below there's a link to my mindfulness course. It's a mini version, but it's free, no sign up required, and I really suggest you go down and click the link and the mini self-help mindfulness series, that you're going to get a lot from that. It's going to help you to really just practice being who you are. And when you can be who you are and you relax and you're calm within yourself, that's when you can attract incredible abundance, because who you are is abundance. Who you are was made of abundance. Who you are is the universe. Who you are is everything within you. And so you have everything within you already, but we're seeking it out there. We're trying to find something else to make us feel whole. Well, when we're looking out there away from ourselves, we're putting attention away from everything that we want. It's already right here. So we're looking away. Where is it? Where is it? We're looking for ourselves, the abundance of who we are, but it's right here. If we look inward, if we practice being who we are, accepting who we are, allowing what we feel to come through, allowing what we think, allowing just in the moment what we just feel drawn to express, drawn to do, our energies, our desires, the things that fulfill us, the things that make us happy, and the people that we go, you know, it doesn't feel good being around these people. And so then we need to make decisions. Do I want to keep being something I'm not? I've always known these people. They've been my friends all my life. How can I not be with them anymore? But I've talked about all the things I'm changing. I've mentioned that it doesn't feel good about, talking about these things. Let's talk about something better. They're not willing to grow. They're not willing to change, say. So at that point in time, do we want to stay there with them and be something that we're not and keep denying ourselves? Or a job that we don't feel good about? Oh, sure, maybe it pays well, but say we're deeply unfulfilled and there's something in us calling us and we're not following that. We're not being who we are. Now, I'm not saying go end your friendships and quit your job, but I'm saying look at these things. Look at all the areas. This is incredibly overgrown. I just want to, that's the path right there. Not that long ago, that was really easy to get through there. Just because I'm videoing, I'm going to go this way because I feel like I'm going to trip on some vines and fall over into the camera. And so it's really important to look at these things, to look at where am I being authentic, where am I not? What do I want to do about it? How is this affecting me? Because if you can't be yourself in a friendship, it's not really a friendship. How can you call it a friend if that person's really not wanting to spend time with the actual you? And when you start really being you and they start making a fuss about that and they don't like that, well, they're basically saying, I don't like you. I want you to be the way I want you to be so I can keep feeling good about being around you. That's when we really can't manifest what we want fully, because we're not being ourselves, and the self that we truly are, that's the person that receives it. So if you put a different address on the envelope and you mail it to somebody, they can't receive it. If they mail it to you and it's not your address, you don't give them the right address, how can it come to you? It has to be addressed to you. So when you are you, when you practice being you and you follow what you feel and you say, you know what, it just doesn't feel good to spend time with you anymore because you keep talking about all this stuff. And I'm doing all this growing and changing and I just can't talk and have about these things anymore. I need to talk about these kind of things. Come on with me. Let's. If they're not willing to go there, it might be time to start looking for different friendships, people that want to go, that want to be with you. Then when you start being you, it's like we're in a relationship and we're afraid to rock the boat because we're afraid maybe deep down of abandonment issues. We're afraid of being alone. We're afraid of, we might lose the only person that we think loves us. But we built the relationship on not being who we truly are, not being authentic. So they've gotten to know and expect you to be somebody you're not. And it takes a lot of work to hold that lie. You know, when you lie and you keep lying and lying, you got to keep making up stuff to back up those lies or you get caught. When we're in a relationship, the same kind of thing. If we're not being ourselves, they're getting to know a person that's not really who we are, and we're supporting, cultivating that. So we can't really manifest true abundance and happiness from a place of being unauthentic. But when we start really being ourselves, it might push that person away, but it might not. It might inspire them to grow and change and evolve. It might do that. And if it does push them away, but we're truly being ourselves, for a while we might think, oh God, well, yeah, that didn't go very well being myself. But really, now we don't have to fake who we really are and pretend and be in a place that we just feel unfulfilled. We feel resentful because we're never speaking our truth. We're always blaming them because that, it just doesn't feel good the way they treat us. But we're not really expressing our true boundaries, our true self. So how can they treat us relative to who we are? So now we meet somebody and we're being our real self. So at that point in time, the relationship we're building is built on truth. So if they spend time with and they want to, we know that they want to spend time with who we really are. So get to know who you really are. Spend that time, do the awareness practice, because as you start doing that, you're going to start liking who you are. You're going to start really getting to know who you are, instead of making up all this other stuff to deny who you are. So if you're denying who you are, you're denying everything you want to attract in your life. You can't attract abundance. And even if you could attract abundance, there are a lot of people that attract a lot of money, fancy cars and houses and relationships, and but are they really, really happy if they're just trying to do this because they're doing it based on insecurities? They just don't feel fulfilled. And when they're trying to acquire something to feel good about themselves, feel good in life, they just want more and more and more because it's never enough. But when you attract abundance from who you really are, and all the way along the way you're feeling really good through every step of attracting it, creating it, and you're learning and growing and evolving, you're going to love what you attract. Every day, everything you do, you're going to love it. Even when it's challenging and hard, you're going to look at it and go, wow, that was amazing. I did that. That was really hard. That was so hard to do. But you cultivated patience and self-understanding, self-acceptance, and so many attributes that are the attributes that are going to attract abundance. You allowed life to happen. So I really encourage you to consider that you can't attract fully everything that's meant for you if you're not being you. How can you? It's just not being sent to you. You're mailing it to somebody else, to the person you're trying to be. But if you want it to come to you, you need to address that envelope to you. So do the awareness practice down below. There's a link. Try that out. And it's a series. And there's also a series down below of all of these videos. It'll take you to my website. You can watch all these videos in a row. And as well, through my business, Hypnotherapy Victoria, I see people online mostly, and it's a free 1-hour video consultation where I can help you through these things, to help you resolve these challenges that make it hard to be who you really are, and help support you with your goals through hypnotherapy and mindfulness and a lot of different tools and practices, and an online program that really helps you in between sessions to stay moving forward and growing and learning about yourself. And so my name is Arnie Peterson from Hypnotherapy Victoria. And if you like this video, send it to other people. It'll help other people. And so if you give it a thumbs up, if you share it, if you subscribe, that's helping me to help other people. You're actually helping other people indirectly by doing that. And so next week will be video 12, where I'm going to talk about challenges that come up and that we're able to, things that we can do to resolve them in the moment when we're doing this work. Because if we are trying to change who we are and be authentically who we are, it's going to kick up parts of ourselves that make it very hard. And fears and worries, insecurities, they're going to come up. So I've talked about this in earlier videos, but I want to meet it from a higher perspective this time of how we can do things in the moment to actually resolve them along the way, to really connect to our nervous system, to tell our nervous system that everything's okay, and to tell our inner self that this isn't real, this isn't really going on, this is just a worry and a fear, and I know we're feeling worried right now, but everything's going to be okay. And looking around and making sure it's safe, and the mindfulness program will help you with this. But next week, video 12, it's going to be really interesting to go into that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I wish you an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.